Good morning, boys and girls. I hope all of my explorers are so happy today. Today, we are going to be working on project number 13. Okay, I hope you're keeping up. I love seeing all of your work on Art Sonia. Today, we are making a color theory scarecrow. It's really cute though. So look at, I'd like to call it a not so scary scarecrow. But scarecrows are so fun, boys and girls. You can make them happy and colorful, and they can be in a field, so you can make a landscape, which is one of our vocabulary words. If you look behind me, we're going to be working with texture, pattern, primary colors. If you remember the primary colors, they are red, yellow, and blue primary colors. So learning your primary and secondary colors are part of art color theory. So when I say we are learning about the color theory scarecrow, we're going to be talking about our colors and mixing colors to make secondary colors. So when you mix the primary colors, you will get secondary colors. Some of you might remember the secondary colors. I hope so. They are orange, green, and purple. So if I mix, this is a test. If I mix red and yellow, what color do I get? If you said orange, you're right. Now, next one. If I mix blue and yellow, what color do I get? If you said green, you're right. Now, if I mix blue and red, what color do I get? Purple! That's right. So, those are the colors that we're going to be working with today. So, remember, primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. And you have to mix the primary colors to even get the secondary colors. Now, we're also going to be using brown. Brown is a neutral color. Neutrals are black, white, gray, and brown. Those are the four neutrals that we talk about in art class. So brown will be a neutral color that we're using today. Now, boys and girls, with this project, I'm going to let you use some creative choices with your coloring. You may use, because I know you have different things at home, you may use colored pencils, crayons, markers, or if you want to use your watercolors, you definitely can. So I'm going to mix it up a little, and you know what? If you want to do that too, go for it. It's fun to make a multimedia project. That means we use lots of different art supplies. Now, I'm going to start by drawing my scarecrow with a Sharpie and my background. Then, if you want to go in and color it however you want, that's totally fine. So if you want to get out, like I said, your colored pencils, your crayons, your markers, your watercolors, I'll use a little bit of everything. So you can either follow the same thing I'm doing, or if you want to use markers for the whole project, I don't mind. Maybe you want to use watercolor for the whole project. That's okay too. I know we haven't used watercolors in a little while, so you might be itching to use those. All right, boys and girls, one more thing. Let's talk a little bit about stories. I love adding stories to my art projects. Now, instead of saying a specific artist today, I want to talk about literature. And literature just means books. And some of these books have the greatest illustrations, and that's the artwork that we see in books. Now, Too Many Pumpkins by Linda White is one of my favorite fall-time stories because she grows way too many pumpkins, but then she is very generous with her pumpkins. And she makes muffins and bread, and she gives everything away to her neighbors and friends. So it's a very sweet story. Red Leaf, Yellow Leaf, that's a good color theory story. And The Little Scarecrow Boy, that's very appropriate for our project today. So if you have not read any of these books, you can go online and listen to them, or maybe you have them. So take a minute and reread them. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Instead of an artist, we're going to talk about illustrators. Yeah. Now, I love books. For those of you who don't know, I was actually a librarian for almost 13 years. Yeah, and I loved it. So I love children's stories, and I love the illustrations. Now, I want you to go to your art packet, your handy dandy art packet, and pull out a 9x12 piece of white paper. That's all we'll need out of your art packet today to start the Scarecrow project. If you have any crows around, you might want to warn them. I'll be back in a minute. Hi, boys and girls. I'm back. Now, you can see my color theory scarecrow. I used colored pencils, markers, and I drew it with a Sharpie. Now, you can choose, like I said, to use whatever you want today. It's going to be your creative choice. Now, we talked about our vocab words, which were texture. We added a texture to the Scarecrow's shirt and some texture to his patches. And you can see all of my patterns in the background. They make it look like we have a lot going on in those fields. You can actually see too, I used the side of my colored pencil to create some texture in the sky and on the Scarecrow's overalls. You can see where I used pattern with my curved lines, with my pumpkins, my broken lines in the fields, my little V's, or I'd like to think they're little sprouts, like maybe beans growing. And I also made a pattern with my corn stalks. So there are a lot of patterns in this project. I used primary colors. You can see my red, yellow, and blue. I also used my secondary colors, orange, green, and purple. So make sure you know which ones are your primary colors and which ones are your secondary colors. My next vocab word was landscape. Landscape. Now, I drew my scarecrow first, and then I added some curved lines in the background to represent different fields. So my scarecrow is in front of a landscape of different fields, different crops growing in the fields. My next vocab word is variety. Variety. Now I added a variety of different fields to make my composition more Dynamic! Now I have a dynamic composition. So adding variety really adds a lot of interest, and it can make your composition dynamic. Okay, boys and girls, I'm really excited to get started drawing this scarecrow. I'm going to set it to the side. I'm going to use my Sharpie to draw today. We're starting with our scarecrow. Now, my scarecrow's head, we're going to start with the face, the scarecrow's face. So towards the top of your paper, you want to make a U. Just make sure you're leaving enough room on top for your scarecrow's hat. Now, we're going to draw the hat next. So you can make a curved line over the top of the U. And then I'm going to make 2 diagonal lines towards the center. Now I'm going to make a rectangle. And my rectangle has rounded corners. And next is the top of the hat. So it's kind of like a bumpy line. I'm going to go bump, then down, and then bump it back up. There's my scarecrow's hat. And we can add embellishments later. Now I want to add 2 circles for the eyes. And maybe you want them to be button eyes. And you want to add 4 little dots for the holes on buttons. And then you can add a little triangle nose. And then you can give your scarecrow a great big smiley face. And you can add the little lines that look like stitches in the scarecrow's mouth. Now his body. Super easy to start. You're going to draw just a horizontal line. Now leave some room on the ends for the straw hanging out of his shirt. All right. Now we're going to make a straight line down on either side and then bring it in towards the center. So those are the scarecrow's arms. And then we're going to make his overalls. I lost the word for a minute. Couldn't remember. I kept wanting to say pants, but they're overalls. So you're going to make a straight line down on each side for his overalls. And then this line on the outside, you're going to bring that all the way down. And those are going to be his pants. Now go back up and make one more line here with a button on the bottom for the straps of his overalls. Then you're going to make a line across. Good. Now, way down here by his legs, you're going to make a V, because we want to see both of your scarecrow's legs. Good job, boys and girls. I bet your scarecrow's looking cute. Next, let's add some straw hanging out. Now, out of the armhole, It's kind of like a zigzag line, boys and girls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at, all it is a zigzag line, but I'm putting little angles on it. See if you can try that. Yeah, to have straw just hanging out. Now I'm going to add a curved line down here to close up his pants. Then I'm going to do it again. There. Aww. Our Scarecrow is looking so cute. So cute. Now you can decide what kind of pattern you want on his shirt. Now on mine, I made a plaid or checkerboard pattern. So I just added a bunch of stripes, vertical lines. I'll make one more right in the middle there. And then horizontal lines. Now be careful, boys and girls, when you get by your straps. See? Oh, I gotta be careful. There. I don't want to make my stripe, my horizontal line, over the top of my overalls. There. Oops. There we go. Ah, he's so cute. Now you might want to give the Scarecrow like the top of your pants where your belt loops are. You might want to do that and then make a little button. You could always do that. And then if you want to add patches, and then you can make the little sew marks for the patches. Aw, so cute. All right, boys and girls, that is our very cute Scarecrow. Maybe you want to add a little flower on his hat. Or you could just add some texture lines. Yeah, I like that. So cute. Now, we are going to start working on the background. The background. I'm going to start with a great big sun. So I want to make a great big circle in the background. It's a sunny day in the fields. Now you might want to add a little scarecrow. Maybe your Scarecrow is not scaring the crows. Uh-oh. So the crows are coming. Oh, those crows. You would like to make a crow on your Scarecrow. Can make a diagonal line, then connect it with a curved line. Good. Now we're going to make another curved line that comes around a little bigger and connect it. Perfect. You can add some little feathers on your crow's tail. You can add 2 little legs. He's sitting on your Scarecrow's arm. Now you can make a little round head on your crow and a beak. You can give him an eye, and then you can give him a little tuft of feathers on top of his head. Just a very simple little bird. Now, in the background, our scarecrow is on a pole. Now, even if your scarecrow is a little bit at an angle, try to make your pole very straight. Because remember, your pole is in the ground. This is where we can add some texture too. Your pole would be wood. More than likely it would be wood. It might be metal. So we can add some wood grain to the pole to make it look like wood. Next, boys and girls, let's add some of those curvy lines for the fields. All they are, think of rainbow lines. So you could add them however and wherever you want. I'm going to turn my paper a little bit. Let me see. I'm going to add a curved line over here. And then I might add a big one that goes behind my scarecrow like that. And then maybe just one more little one in the background. Yeah, I like that. And now it's up to you. It'll be your creative choice what you would like growing in your fields. Remember, I had some pumpkins in one field, some beans in one field, some corn just randomly growing around. And then these could be anything. Maybe the farmer already harvested whatever was in those fields. And down here, ooh, I did just a creative choice with some brown and red. So I'm going to let you choose whatever you would like to put in your fields. Let me see. I might add a couple more crows up in my sky. I kind of like that. And then if you want to make little pumpkins, that's fun to make little pumpkins. And you can make them however you want. Remember, during Pumpkin Week, I showed you lots of different ways to make pumpkins. I'm going to make the hot dog single bun instead of a double bun. I'm just going to make one bun because I just want these pumpkins to be a little smaller, like they're still growing in the field. So I'm going to make a whole bunch of little pumpkins. So this row, or this whole field, is going to be pumpkins. Maybe in the background here, maybe I want to use a dotted line. Ooh, remember some of those fun lines that we learned? I talk about those a lot. I love lines that make patterns. So maybe that's just little lines, like they're little dotted lines. Now, we also learned about wavy lines, remember? So maybe this field is full of wavy lines. Maybe it's just the dirt. The farmer already harvested what was in the field. And then maybe down here, we have something growing. Oh, I wonder what this could be growing in the field. So I'm just kind of making 3 lines and a little loop. I love looking out at fields. I always see the coolest patterns, especially if you've ever been in an airplane and you look down and it looks like there's little circles and squares, fields. have the best patterns. I just love it. All right. And then over here, I'll finish my pumpkins. And then I'll be back in just a few minutes. Keep drawing and finishing your landscape. Hi boys and girls, I'm back. Now remember, I said that we could use mixed media. That means you can use crayons, colored pencils, markers, watercolors, and maybe you want to use everything. And that's okay with me. Now, as I'm looking at my project, I do want to color my Scarecrow's face a realistic skin color. And my watercolors won't do that. So you might need a colored pencil or a crayon or a marker for this part. So if you have a brown or a tan or a peach, you could color your Scarecrow's face. And you know what? If you notice, I am not saying, boys and girls, color one direction. Because scarecrows, they kind of look weathered. That means they're outside all the time, so they get rained on and snowed on and wind blown. So it actually makes your scarecrow look more interesting when you color different directions. It makes it look a little older. I kind of like that. All right, now, when you start coloring, I want you to think about those primary and secondary colors. So I'm going to grab my red, blue, and yellow. And while I'm coloring with these, I'm going to think for a few minutes. These are my primary colors. Whether you're using crayons, markers, or colored pencils, or watercolors, start with red, blue, and yellow, and think about what you could color with these first. And while you're using them, think about them. Okay, they are my primary colors. They are primary colors. These are the colors that I have to mix together to get my secondary colors. So something that I could make yellow definitely is the sun. If you chose to draw corn, you could color the corn yellow. Another thing that would be yellow, the straw hanging out of the scarecrow's clothing. Boys and girls, you could even try to make your own scarecrow. I made a beautiful scarecrow one year with my daughters, and it was so fun. Maybe your family has an old shirt and an old pair of pants laying around, and you could stuff it and make your very own scarecrow. Okay, so I made some good choices with yellow. Now, what about red? I think my hat could be red. So I'm gonna color my scarecrow's hat red. So as I'm coloring with red, I'm thinking red is a primary color. I have to mix red with another color to get a secondary color. If I mix red with yellow, I get orange. Orange is a secondary color. If I mix red With blue, I get purple. Purple's a secondary color. Aw, that's cute. I love my little Scarecrow so far. He's so cute. Now, I think, I might also color one of his patches red. Or maybe both of them. Oops, I like how it looks with the hat when I see the red in more than one place. All right, good. So now I've used yellow and red. Those are two primary colors. Now I have my blue. I think I'm going to make blue eyes. I have blue eyes, so I think I want my Scarecrow to have blue eyes. Yes, I like that. Now, I'm going to pretend like my Scarecrow's overalls are jeans. So I'm going to color those blue too. Yep, he's going to have overalls that are jeans. You might have a pair of blue jean overalls. I know I do. I should actually wear mine tomorrow. So I'm going to color all of my overalls blue. I might have to get another blue. That blue's running out. Now, while I'm using my blue, I'm thinking, what can I mix with blue to make a secondary color? I can mix blue and yellow, and that makes green. If you said green, you're right. If not, you can say that while you're coloring. Blue and yellow make green. Blue and yellow make green. Now, if I mix blue with red, I get purple. Purple. So blue and red make purple. Good. I think I might color my buttons red too. I like that. Very nice. All right. So now, so far I've used primary colors only. Red, blue, and yellow are my primary colors. Next, boys and girls, I am going to use secondary colors. Secondary colors. Now, I'm excited. I am going to make something with watercolors. I'm going to use watercolors. So my secondary colors, remember, orange, green, and purple. All right, so I'm going to make this big field in the background. I'm going to make this orange. Remember, when you paint, boys and girls, you hold your paintbrush just like a pencil. Just like a pencil. Oh. If you heard that, you probably remember from last year that that is my timer. That means start cleaning up for the next class. And it's true. I have a class in just a few minutes. So we're going to finish up. I need some green. I think I want this field down here to be green. So while I'm painting, I can think about the primary colors that made these secondary colors that I'm using. So up here, I just used orange, right? And red and yellow make orange. Now right down here, I'm using green. Does anybody remember what two colors make green? blue and yellow. You said yellow, you're right. Blue and yellow make green. Blue and yellow make green. All right. I'm loving my little scarecrow here. Now, oh, I need purple. Purple, 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 purple. Oh, beautiful. Now, red and blue make purple. Red and blue make purple. Very, very nice. Now, I'm going to add some brown. Remember the pole that your scarecrow's on, that can be brown. To make it look like wood. I like that. Now, pumpkins are usually growing in the dirt, right? Ugh, dirty pumpkins. They are dirty when you first get them. So you can color around your pumpkins, or if you want to color them first, you can do that. I'm going to go back and color in my pumpkins. I might use markers in a few other areas of my project. So I'm going to finish coloring or painting this area with my watercolors. Ooh, I do like how watercolors look like dirt. You can make them look with your lights and your darks. Remember, if you use less water, you get darker brown. If you use more water, you're going to get a lighter brown. So I'm just coloring around all my pumpkins. So then, boys and girls, I'm going to go back in with my markers, and I'm going to color my pumpkins, the stripe on my hat, my nose, my shirt, and I don't know, I might use black for my bird. Here. Oh yeah, I like that. My little crow. He's so cute. I do want him to be black. He's very cute. And then my sky, since it's such a big area, I'm going to paint that blue. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to finish painting my sky. And then I'm going to get my markers out and color any leftover areas with markers. And then I'll be back and show you my finished project. Okay, boys and girls, I'm back. And you can see I'm almost done coloring. Now I used purple on the hat, purple marker, green marker on the nose, and orange marker for the shirt. And down here, I used green marker for the stems of my pumpkin, and I'm using orange to color in my pumpkins. Aw, I love my color theory Scarecrow. Now I want you to work hard trying to remember all those primary and secondary colors. Let's review them one more time. Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. So, if I mix blue and yellow, I get green. If I mix blue and red, I get purple. And if I mix red and yellow, I get orange. So I want you to go find somebody that you could tell that to. Maybe it's your mom, dad, grandma, brother, sister, or your dog or your cat, or fish, who knows? Go tell somebody how you make secondary colors. All right, boys and girls, have a great day. I hope you like creating the color theory Scarecrow with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.